So this was a part of like what I was talking about yesterday when it came to coming up with ideas for the show today. And my point with that being is this. We're getting into the dog days of summer. It's really hard to find a story. And you don't want to burn through the Kyler Murray stuff in May or the pass rushing stuff in May. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about what exactly we could lean into. And this is what I wanted to go into. It's a short thought, but it's a good exercise. And I saw Michael in the chat say, I don't think Gannon or Monti need to worry this year, but K1 and Drew do. Sure. Thank you, Spider. I appreciate it. I would agree with that to an extent. Jonathan Gannon, for better or for worse, has hitched his wagon to Kyler Murray. One of the reasons why you should believe in Kyler Murray this year is because if you're a Cardinals fan or a media member, you know how good Jonathan Gannon is. Every time the guy speaks, I feel better about the Cardinals' chances to make the playoffs, to be at some point a Super Bowl team. You trust the leadership of him. He instills confidence in your team. And one of the reasons why you should feel good about this season is because Kyler Murray has that confidence from Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon has hitched his wagon to Kyler, has continued to talk him up, but not in like a way where it feels artificial. It really feels like Jonathan Gannon believes in Kyler Murray as a perennial MVP type of candidate. Like just one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And what I mean by that is this. Last year, the Cardinals had a chance with the number 4 overall pick to have their picking at a quarterback. Could have been Bo Nix. Obviously not Drake May, not Jaden Daniels, not Caleb Williams, but they didn't even entertain it. They were at the 4th overall pick. They didn't even try to trade up. Like they had a chance to move on from Kyler. But Jonathan Gannon said no. Monty Ossenforts said no. They said, this is our guy. We're going to roll with this guy. We believe in him. They've hitched their wagon to Kyler. If Kyler Murray doesn't work out this year, it's do or die for everyone. Not immediately. Jonathan Gannon's not losing his job this year unless it's a catastrophic season. They win 4 games. They win 3 games. Sure. Maybe they're all gone. And I don't think that that's crazy to think of that. But it won't be very gone. It won't be very long before they're gone. Because at that point, the Cardinals, with the 4th overall pick a couple years ago, unless things go incredibly haywire, will never be picking that low in the Jonathan Gannon, Monty Ossenfort tenure again. They just won't be. So with that being said, even if you want to move on from Kyler this year, you can't argue that he's at least an average quarterback. Really good for the first half of the season, pretty bad at the second half of the season. Put those together, that's just an average guy. That's a 70 on an exam. So I lean into it like this. If Kyler doesn't work out this year, you want to get rid of Kyler, then what? You want to draft a quarterback? Okay. The Cardinals, even with Kyler playing bad in the second half of seasons last year, won 8 games. They picked 16th this year. Are you getting a top-level talent at pick 16 again for the Cardinals? Especially with this cakewalk of a schedule, you might win 9 games. Are you going to be able to pick a quarterback at 18, 17? Are you going to be able to find someone in free agency? I think the only way that Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort keep their jobs long-term and that this team stays together is if Kyler's awesome. If Kyler's bad, you're going to have to go find another quarterback. And I find it hard to believe you're going to instantly find someone better than Kyler in the later parts of the first round or in free agency or in a trade without gutting your team. So Jonathan Gannon has hitched his wagon to Kyler. Yeah, maybe they're not so much attached to at the hip that Jonathan Gannon could be gone this year. But I don't think Jonathan Gannon is getting another 3 to 4 years with a different quarterback. I'm sorry, I'm reading my guy Aaron in the chat. The most overrated rebuttal of all time. If you have a guy who is not working, you just move on and figure out by that point in time. If Kyler fails and you're looking at a backup quarterback anyway, just come in and be a standard guy. The argument is just if Kyler fails, I don't think Jonathan Gannon is getting another 3 to 4 years with another quarterback. We don't see that often. You don't get 7 years or 5 years to succeed as a head coach. You generally get 3. But because of the goodwill Jonathan Gannon has with ownership and the fan base, I don't think he's gone this year. He might get another chance with a quarterback, but I don't think it will be for as long as Kyler Murray was. With Jonathan Gannon. I think he'll get a shorter leash. And if that doesn't work out, it's very possible that it all comes down to Kyler. That for better or for worse, whether it's now or a few seasons from now, if Kyler doesn't work out, if they don't make the playoffs this year, they're moving on from him. But only if it's obviously Kyler's fault. If Kyler's awesome and the defense is terrible, you're not moving on from Kyler. But the point is, and I know it's kind of a hard thing to wrap your mind around, is a few years from now, you could be feeling the repercussions of this year because you'll still be looking for a quarterback. And it'll be tough to find one that's better than Kyler because at minimum, Kyler's average. And you don't just want to move on from a guy that's average. And if you keep him next year and you keep losing and losing, people lose their jobs. So that's my point that I'm trying to make here. I know it's a kind of a hard one to wrap your mind around, but it's not just do or die for Kyler. Kyler has to be awesome, but he's got a lot of people who he's also dragging with. Jonathan Gannon could lose his job. Monty Ossenforts could lose his job. Players in the defense might not be here anymore. Budda Baker could be gone next year. My point is, Gannon, and it's a good point by Ivan in the chat, Gannon took this job knowing it was Kyler Murray or nothing. So by hitching his wagon to Kyler, yes, I do believe he believes in him, but it also leads into the fact that I just think if Kyler doesn't work out, it could be a collective failure for everyone. And down the line, you're paying the repercussions for it because you didn't move on from Kyler when you had a chance. Instead, you hitched your wagon to this guy, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. And it's not to scare anyone. I think Kyler's going to be great. Or I think Kyler's going to be good this year. Great is a strong term. And I think they're going to make the playoffs. But to think that everyone in the locker room and the front office doesn't know exactly what they're getting themselves into, listen, I promise you're wrong. It is a league where you don't get that much room to succeed. It is a razor-thin league. So that's where I would go with that. It's not just Kyler. His success is tied to Jonathan Gannon. It's tied to Monty Ossenforts. It's tied to players on this defense. It's tied to players on this offense. There's a lot riding on Kyler this year. And it's not just his own future. It's everyone else's as well.